a second earlier. Hey everyone, it's Mike and Enrica coming to you live from, we're not in the same city, so I guess we can't.
Yeah,
live from Italy and Canada.
Yeah, from Genova in Italy.
And I'm from Ottawa. And what's the question that we're looking at today, Enrica?
Oh, should I sell outside of TPT? This is a really difficult question, especially after what Paul said in the last town hall or whatever it was. I always forget the name of
the town halls.
Yeah, and he said that people, sellers who sell on other stores that are not TPT, they make less. Maybe they are, downfalling on TPT, and that these were raw data, and he doesn't know anything more yet. But I found this uncover awkward.
Yeah,
you're not
the
why?
first person to say that. Sorry, go ahead. You're not the first person to say that.
Why do you feel the need to share such an information? What's the point in it? Do you want to convince younger, newer sellers that it is better to be exclusive on TPT? Are you afraid of other markets, or what? Why there is the need to share such an information? Do you have any idea, Mark?
I think right. So someone else told me about this and then thought it was odd that, well, of course you're going to say that, sales are going down if you also sell on other platforms because you own TPT. But I think I wonder if it's just him being interested in data, right? Like I like data, and that makes sense to me.
Because we share a lot of data.
Right. Yeah. So like it's a curiosity as opposed to maybe trying to say one thing or the other. How do you think if you were TPT? So Paul Mishkin's the CEO, he's not collecting the data. People report to him and summarize the data. How would you figure out that TPT sellers who sell on other platforms have sales going down? Like I have an idea how I would calculate it, but how would you figure that out?
I have no idea actually, because I don't know. But first of all, you need to research sellers who sell on other platform, or they have their own website, and how do you find that? How do you?
How could you figure that out?
Yeah.
I think it actually would be really easy to figure that out because if you were to go to, so TPT has all of the product descriptions in their database, right? And they would simply look at the product description and see who was linking to something outside of TPT. And then you could see if their sales were going down.
You might sell on other platform and don't have a link on TPT.
That's true. So you would never know about those people. But if you can't link to other sales platforms. But if I link to YouTube, maybe they're just saying, oh, if you link to other places, then we can tell that we can group those people together and say that group. But he was just sort of mentioning it as a point of interest. Is that right?
Like that. Like I shared the data and didn't make any comments about that.
Right. So I guess for me, this is an interesting question about should I sell on other platforms, because my sales are wicked down. So here's my, oops, that's not going to reload it here. So here's my dashboard compared with last year at this time, and I'm down by $2,000. And this is normally, so I'm 33% down. Last year was $6,000 at this time. This year it's $4,000. And so it makes sense that people would panic if they were in this situation. So,
but this is the first thing that doesn't add up, because as you know, I sell on other platform and
right.
my sales are 50% up.
Yeah, and you do link to other
So
places, but just because there are people who are going up doesn't mean that the average of the group isn't going down.
yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
Because there are always outliers. But yeah,
Oh, I
so,
love being an outlier.
I
I
think the
feel an
outliers are
outlier.
interesting. Okay, so the question today that I think will be interesting for us to sort of explore, and by the way, I do have a YouTube video where I explain why I think we should or shouldn't switch platforms and the pros and cons of that. And so that's
I saw
episode
it.
18. But the question that I want to sort of dig into today is, why does Enrica sell on other platforms, and why do I not sell on other platforms? And there are a lot of people who leave comments from the SEOTpreneur YouTube community, so you're welcome to leave a comment in the live stream or afterwards. But Enrica, can you tell us a little bit about where you sell, where else you sell, and why you do that?
I have some really few products almost everywhere. I have Unpaid Learning and I have Made by Teachers. But I think if I make $2-3 a year is already a win, because I have really few products. I think I don't remember how to get in and find. So there is no point in that. Where I'm a little more active is a website that is called Teach Simple, and is based on a completely different, system than TPT, because you don't price your products. It has a monthly subscription, and the teacher can download everything from the website paying this subscription, and you are paid based on the value. Every product that you put there is, how could I say, like when you check it before publishing. I don't have the word exactly. And every product is checked before publishing it, and it is given, like from them is given a number of points, and this is how they differentiate how they pay you. Because if I create, a one-page worksheet, it's one thing, but if I create a year-long choice board or whatever, and it can't be valued the same of the worksheet.
So you get a percentage of do you get paid every time someone uses that resource, or do you get paid a percentage
No.
of the pie based
I
on the
get
points?
paid a percentage of the pie based on the points. So
Based on how many points that the
yeah,
resource is worth. So
and how many people overall download. They took the total of the money they make, and they divide by number of products downloaded. So you can't have, I don't know how to explain, you can't say this product is so valuable that you might make like $2, or you might make $80 for a worksheet, because if many people download it. So
so I remember chatting with you about this earlier, and I think you said that Teach Simple. I thought I remember you saying something that because Teach Simple had a different business model, that's why you were sort of tinkering with it. Does that still hold true today? Like you still?
Okay. I make like, I think 1 or 2% of what I make on TPT, but I think, and from what I see, a lot of platform and lot of systems are going to monthly fee, and not just one time pay. So I thought, why not? It takes me like 10 minutes to upload a resource on Teach Simple once I have it on TPT. So I do it, and from what I see, they should do something right. My sales are not comparable with TPT, but
Mhm.
they are growing. And the flex catalog that TPT tried to do like 2 years ago or last year, I don't remember.
Right.
I joined it, and I'm still in the program. Uh, I think in a way it's similar. So maybe even TPT thought that might be a good idea. This is why I joined Teach Simple.
Right. So I wonder, so just because I'm not part of Teach Simple, but I wonder if as it gets bigger, doesn't your cut get smaller because other people are putting in more points, and then over time you get a diminishing return on your investment.
Uh, I don't know. It might be, and when it will be, I might decide to close my store. Right now, it's okay for me.
Right. And then can I ask a flip question? Well, then doesn't it make
Yes.
sense for you to put a lot of resources on? Because even if people don't look at your resources, you still have a lot of points, and then you're earning points.
No,
Earning a large
because you get points only if your resources and you get money only if your resources are downloaded, and and
okay.
and it depends on how many times they are downloaded. If you have a 9 point product and I have a 1 point product,
Right.
but my resources downloaded 100 times and yours only one, I will make more than you.
Okay. So then
There is a sort. It's quite difficult for me even to understand it. So
right. So you get paid every time someone looks at your resource, and the amount you get paid is determined by the point value of your resource.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, and for me, it's worth it. I like it. I like the people who work there, and
Yeah, it's an interesting model. So
why do you not sell on
why do I
other
not sell
platforms?
on other platforms? So I don't sell. I some platforms I'm not allowed to sell on because I'm Canadian, and I feel like so there's always going to be spam and low quality content. And the way that TPT dealt with it was by charging for the basic membership now. But it sounds like Teach Simple, how they deal with it is by screening all the content. Is that right?
Yeah, they do.
Right.
You
So
can't publish a resource. You publish your resource is checked by an AI that look for duplicated content or something like that, and then it
right.
might be rejected. Then it's pending until someone manually, I don't know how to sell it, manually check it. So
Right, and approves it.
yeah,
So the reason why I don't sell in other places is because Teachers Pay Teachers is the largest, like there's the largest marketplace in the US, right? There's a saying like go where the fish are if you're fishing, and the fish are at Teachers Pay Teachers. So I remember doing this in the video. I'm going to do it again. Teachers Pay Teachers right now has 24.4 million visits per month on average.
wow.
This is SEMrush data. And then if I type Teach Simple, is it teachsimple.com?
Yeah.
That must be it, teachsimple.com. If I add them as a competitor, right?
Yeah.
So Teach Simple is down here in terms of traffic. It's like 44,000 visits per month. That's not to say that, that there is an opportunity, like it's probably less competition, but just 44,000 versus 22 million.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's a good use, or 24 million. I don't feel like it's a good use of my time. If you know what, I look at the question that we were asking, and I realize I actually do sell on other platforms, but it's not Teachers Pay Teachers now that I think about it. So my sales are going down, and I am trying a bunch of different things to try to recover on TPT. Oops. But I don't only rely on TPT for my income, right? Like I've diversified in the sense that I make money from coaching small business. I make money from SEOTpreneur PRO, like in theory. I make money from my hosting company. So I'm not worried necessarily about my low sales, because let's be honest, it gives me content to talk about as I try to turn it around. But I all of my eggs are in one basket, and that's good and that's bad in a way. Because if my sales go down, like my reading strategy bundle is going down, then my whole store goes down. But then on the other hand, if you have a product that sells really well and you invest in it a lot, I think you can get disproportionate returns. Do you think TPT will, in 5 years, Enrica, do you think TPT will not be the market leader?
I think it will be still the market leader.
Yeah.
But I think that other platform will rise. And what I do believe that if you wanna be a TPT competitor, you have to think different. You can't just duplicate it like, I don't know, made by teachers or other stores, because TPT is too big. We saw it. There is no competition, and no matter how bad things go, no matter the scam stores, no matter the debacle that I had in the last years, but still it's the biggest one, because it's the one that teachers know, and it's the one that I know big sellers are.
So that's part of the reason why I don't sell on other platforms, because if Amazon with all of Amazon resources tried to get into the education market, and then they made a business decision saying, yeah, it's not worth it, and they pulled out, then how can any other marketplace, unless you were doing something really different from what TPT was doing? I don't think
that's why I joined Teach Simple.
Right. Interesting.
I don't know if they will ever be big, but
it's a different market, and so you're tinkering. Okay, so let's ask the opposite question. Enrica, what would it take for you to stop selling or stop working on those other platforms and only work on TPT? And I'll answer the opposite question. But before you answer that, Enrica, can you explain where people can find your resources right now?
They can find it on TPT and on Teach Simple.
Are you on tests, or are you on?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of resources on tests. I think 50, 60. I made 24 pounds in a year, so that's okay.
So it's just like an experiment, like you're just, let's see what happens, and you're leaving it there.
And I did it for other stores, and they're not. So my only stores are TPT and Teach Simple and Boom Learning, but Boom Learning is something completely different. That is, it's only digital. It's a platform that has also data for kids, something like ESL, from TPT, but it works. They had a huge boom during COVID because it was perfect for distance learning. And I don't make much. I make less than on Teach Simple. There you can put your own prices. It works like TPT, and you can sell boom cards on TPT.
So what would it take for you to stop selling on TPT or stop selling on boom card and only choose one platform? What would it take? What would have to happen?
The different platforms should say that we can't sell on different websites. If I'm not forced to do it, I will never do it. Because, I make like $50 on boom cards, but I enjoy so much creating resources on boom cards that I would never stop. And plus, it works really well in my classes. So I have it because I use it. And so why stop? Even if I made like $10 per month, at least I would pay the subscription for my classes, and that's okay.
Right. So if you're just joining us right now, if you're watching this, I highly recommend you check out the episode 18, because I break down why I don't sell and some of the pros and cons of maybe selling on other platforms that you haven't considered. For me,
I
go
was
ahead.
asking the question, what would it take for you to sell on other platforms?
So yeah, I only sell on TPT right now because that's where the snowball is, and I use that for my sales mechanism. But I actually was thinking there is a use case where I wouldn't sell on TPT, and the problem with TPT is because you don't get the email addresses. Like when I run a Facebook campaign for brick and mortar stores, we know exactly who is buying. Like you bought the ad, we have your phone number, your email address, we can track you in the system, and we know that we got a sale. So I was thinking about doing this virtual support teacher video stuff and selling that as a membership separately from TPT. Or like, so I could see something like that. Or if TPT one day, if like TPT decided to close my account, then I would just take my resources and sell them on WooCommerce on my own website. But there are costs with running your own website, right?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to give TPT 20% of my income because I don't have to worry about sales tax or making sure the website's running or dealing with customer service, like that frontline customer service. Like 20% is nothing, so that I don't have to hire people to do that. So that's what it would take me to sell on other platforms. If TPT forced me to leave, or if I really discovered that having email addresses helped me with my Facebook ads. Yeah. So that's sort of it for the show here. I guess the question that to leave off with the crowd is, do you sell? So the people who are watching now and the people who watch later on, do you sell on other platforms? And what would it take for you to switch and only sell on one platform or sell on many platforms? Enrica, if you had to guess what the most common answer would be, do you think most people who comment are going to sell on other platforms or not?
Most people who comment sell on other platforms, and I saw a lot of people complain because other platforms are not as profitable as TPT, but there are two reasons, I think, mostly. First one, TPT is the biggest and there is no competition, as we said. The second one is that if I continue promote only TPT, my other website are going to die. That's
right. Because you don't spend time there. It's like watering grass.
Yeah.
You're not watering the grass there. And so for me, I think that's why I tried, I think, a couple of products on Test or something like that, but I haven't watered that. I'm not expecting anything from it. And the grass is greener where you water it. So yeah, so leave a comment. Any last ideas or comments that you want to say, Enrica, before we sign off?
I don't know. I'm still sick, so my answer, the answer in my head is still a little, so. But I have a question for who is watching us. What do you want us to talk about? What do you want to hear from us?
So leave a comment and we'll see you next time. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.